Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into two of the most ambitious conservation efforts you'll find anywhere in the world. We're talking about two massive national projects, each designed to save one of India's most magnificent giants. All right, let's start with a number that really sets the stage: 1,800. That's it. By 1972, that's how few tigers were left in all of India. I mean, just think about that. A catastrophic drop from an estimated 40,000 at the turn of the century. It was a true crisis point, pushing the species right to the absolute brink of vanishing forever. So a number like that begs a monumental question, right? How on earth do you save a giant like the tiger from completely disappearing? Well, the answer wasn't simple. It would take not just one, but two totally groundbreaking national strategies. Okay, so let's talk about the first pillar, Project Tiger. And the idea here wasn't just, basic protection. It was about building an impenetrable fortress, a true sanctuary for the nation's most iconic predator. I mean, look at this timeline. The drop was just devastating. In about 70 years, the population was basically wiped out. The response had to be fast, and it had to be bold. And that's what led to the launch of Project Tiger back in 1973. And you know what? The results have been pretty incredible, with the population more than doubling since that rock bottom point. So, what's the secret sauce behind this fortress strategy? Well, it's a really innovative land management idea called the core/buffer approach. Now, this isn't just about drawing a line and calling it a park. No, it's a clever two-layered system designed for both absolute hardcore protection and a kind of managed coexistence. Let's break that down, because it's really cool. First, you've got the core zone. Think of this as the inner sanctum, the vault. It's an inviolate area, meaning it's kept as free from human disturbance as humanly possible. Then, surrounding that core, you have the buffer zone. This is the outer ring, where the goal is a bit different. It's all about finding a careful balance, allowing for human activity and wildlife to exist, side by side.
And believe me, this isn't some small-scale experiment. This strategy has been rolled out on a massive scale. Take the Nagarjun-Sagar Srisalam Tiger Reserve, for instance. It has the largest single core zone in the entire country. That really shows you the level of commitment to this fortress idea.
And what's so amazing is that inside these fortresses, every single animal is completely unique. It's true. Just like a human fingerprint, no two tigers have the exact same pattern of stripes. It makes you realize that each one is a totally irreplaceable individual. Okay, so that's the fortress. Now let's shift gears to our second pillar. This one tackles a different giant with a totally different set of challenges. And if Project Tiger built a fortress, well, Project Elephant built a highway. This project was launched in 1992, almost 2 decades after Project Tiger. And the focus had to be completely different. See, elephants are nomadic. They need to roam over huge distances. So the problem wasn't just about creating a safe space, but about ensuring they had safe passage between those spaces. And that's where this key idea comes in, the elephant corridor. It's a simple but brilliant concept. These are basically narrow, natural strips of land that act like highways, connecting larger forest habitats. They allow the herds to migrate safely, following the same ancient routes they've used for generations. And we're not just talking about one or two. An extensive network of these natural highways has been mapped out. Today, there are 88 of these vital corridors officially identified across India. And protecting them? It's absolutely crucial. It's how you prevent habitats from becoming isolated islands, and it's essential for maintaining healthy genetic diversity. You know what makes these corridors so important is that they tap right into the deep, generational knowledge of the elephant herds themselves. These animals have incredible memories for places, where to find food, water, safe havens, and that vital information is passed down from matriarch to calf over centuries. These corridors aren't just paths, they're their ancient, remembered highways. So there you have it. 2 giants, 2 projects, and 2 very different philosophies, right? One is a fortress, the other a highway. Let's put their conservation blueprints side by side and see how they stack up. And this really gets to the heart of it. Project Tiger is what you'd call species-centric. It's all about protecting the animal inside a fortified space. Project Elephant, on the other hand, is habitat-centric. It's focused on protecting the entire landscape, including those vital highways, to manage how the herds move and to reduce conflict. This little breakdown shows some really key operational differences.
First, notice that 20-year gap between when they launched. And their strategies are perfectly tailored to each animal's biggest threat. For tigers, it's poaching. For elephants, it's habitat fragmentation. Even how they're run is different. Project Tiger is overseen by something called the NTCA, which is a statutory body. That's important because it gives it some serious legal teeth to enforce protection.
But for all those differences, they share something absolutely critical: a shared administrative backbone. Both of them are what's known as centrally sponsored schemes. So what does that mean? It means the money and the big picture vision come from the national level, but the actual work on the ground is done by the states. This lets them adapt to local realities, and honestly, it's a really powerful combination.
So, after all this time, what is the real legacy of these twin pillars? Of these fortresses and highways built over the last half-century? And maybe more importantly, what does the future really hold for them?
While one thing's for sure, the impact goes way beyond India's borders. International cooperation is a huge piece of the puzzle. You've got things like the Global Tiger Forum, which fights illegal trade, and the Elephant 8 Ministerial, which brings different nations together to create these big, long-term conservation plans, like the E5050 Forum.
You know, when you boil it all down, this is what it's all about. This quote here from the original objectives of Project Tiger, I think it just captures the ambition of both efforts perfectly. It's about preserving this incredible biological heritage, not just for us, but for all the generations to come.
But here's the thing. That promise? It's facing a constant, growing challenge. The pressures from development, new infrastructure, and a growing human population, they're just immense. And that leaves us with one final and really crucial question. As a nation continues to grow and develop, can its pillars of conservation actually bear all that weight?